Hello, my name is Jason Gerard with One Path Coaching. I'm here today celebrating MLK Day. And one of the ways that we can celebrate MLK Day is to volunteer to improve our local communities. And Jack Kornfield has a saying, says, mend where you can touch. And there's even a bigger, well-known saying, more well-known saying that says, think global but act local. So I would just challenge you to see how you use your power in your community to make things better. I want to share a writing from a speech that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave in 1967. And the title of the speech was, What is Your Life's Blueprint? So I want to share that reading. And then at the end, I want to share a letter from Thich Nhat Hanh from 1965 that he sent to Martin Luther King Jr. That speaks a little bit more to this day. But I'm going to start with a reading from What is Your Life's Blueprint? And when you discover what you will be in your life, set out to do it as if God Almighty called you at this particular moment in history to do it. Don't just set out to do a good job. Set out to do such a good job that the living, the dead, or the unborn couldn't do it any better. If it falls your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Libertine Prince sings before the Metropolitan Opera. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. If you can't be a pine on top of a hill, be a shrub in the valley. Be the best little shrub on that side of the hill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be a sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or fail. Be the best of whatever you are. I think that speaks also to your personal power and what you can do. I'm going to include the portion of the letter from Thich Nhat Hanh, who is a Zen Vietnamese monk that was really into peace and spreading that message as well. And he wrote to Dr. King back before they had met. They'd met in 1967, a few years later. But in it, basically, to sum it up, he talks about how the enemy isn't man. The enemy is intolerance. The enemy is greed. The enemy is hatred. The enemy is discrimination. So what can we do to start off in our local communities to remove those from where we see it? So I'll share that in the writing below. So once again, this is Jason with Path Coaching, and thank you for joining me today.